Monday, she started struggling about a week ago. And we went to the vet and we got some stool softeners. So we've been using that and when it started working, it was wonderful. But she had told us at the time that her intestines had shifted. They were being pushed. And so they were more in like an S pattern. So that was getting harder and harder for her to go to the bathroom. And so she started really struggling like Monday, and it was taking her a long time to kind of go. And then she barked the first time, and then sort of hunched over, and I don't want to be too graphic, but you know how they get, they're hunched over, and well, it took her like she push, and then she'd take a few steps, and then she push, and nothing was coming out, or barely little. So Tuesday we took her in to get groomed because we were supposed to do therapy work Wednesday, and she was looking pretty pitiful. So we dropped her off. She didn't eat breakfast that morning. So when she got home, and Chuck had talked to the doctor, and she said, well, give her as much stool softener, whatever you think, it's not going to hurt her. So when she got back, she ate her lunch, which was breakfast, and then she got sick and threw it up. And then we went outside and she was still struggling, and then hardly getting anything to come out. And that started making me get really worried. And then Wednesday morning, she threw up with just, nothing in it. And we just both, and in the meantime, she had not gone to the bathroom since Tuesday, very little on Tuesday. And we just knew we had to make that decision. It was getting closed off. And hey, Kathy Kinsey, welcome. So I'm talking about my little puppy dog. And so Chuck called the vet because I was a basket case, and they actually had an opening Wednesday afternoon at 4:30. So we took her in, and she told me what they would do, how it was going to work. And I stayed with her. Chuck went outside; he couldn't stay, and it was painful. I'm just now being able to talk some about it. I was a basket case last week, but I've had her for 12 years, and we've done therapy work for 10 years, between doing therapy at assisted livings and memory care, where she was a read dog for 4 years, part of the read program, where we had first graders that read to her. So she's made a huge impact on the communities that, between living in the villages and here. And everybody knows my dog. And so we've had a lot of great response, but it was sad. I did have her cremated, and I got her ashes and brought them home Friday. So that gives me a little bit more comfort, but it's still tough. She was, I don't have children. So that dog was they've always been my kids, and we were extremely close. I mean, I was close with all my dogs, but this one, I think more so because we did weekly visits when we lived in the villages to assisted living and memory care. And then we moved here because she was getting older. We went twice a month, and it was, as I said, it's probably been 5 months that I've been pushing around in a carriage. So, and she liked it, but we knew it was time because it wasn't fair to her to keep her around. So, but anyway, I'm managing. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. So, anyways, welcome everybody. I just had to give you all an update on my sweet little Riley. I am going to get another dog. I made it clear to my husband. It's not going to be anytime soon. We've got some trips scheduled for the next month, April, March, going out to the national parks. Hopefully we can get in and see stuff. And then we just booked a trip to go to Canada in the summer, in July. So I think when we get back, I may start looking. I'm going to get a rescue. I know it's going to be some form of a poodle mix because those are smart dogs, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So anyways, welcome everyone. Let me go ahead and we're going to get started. I hope the lighting is good. I have set up things a little bit differently, and I've got one light up a lot higher. So I think it's made a huge difference. So anyways, let me introduce myself and we're going to get started. We're going to make 2 cards this evening. And I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I have been doing this now, what did I say, 13 years, I think? I can't remember now. 13? I think it's 13. 2011 to 2000. No, it's 14 years, right? 2011, and it's now 25, and I joined in February. So that's 14 years. Oh my gosh, time flies. But anyways, I live in Fort Myers, Florida, and thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. And I wanted to make this, as I did if you're just coming on, if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see where I was talking about my dog, Riley. I've had her for 12 years. She was a rescue and got her certified as a therapy dog. And we did a lot of visits to assisted living and memory care. And she was also part of a READ program, reading education assistance dog, where we had first graders read to her one-on-one, and she gave homework. So that was a joy. But anyways, so with that being said, let's go ahead and turn the camera down. I'm going to go over a few things. Give me just a minute. I do need to flip this down, so bear with me because I do have to shift it down and get it positioned so I can get it right on the table so that y'all can see. Let me switch my camera. There we go. And I'm going to bring this up. I apologize for this, but this is where it gets a little weird because I feel like my lighting is kind of going a little crazy. So give me a second. I'm going to bring my arm in and then adjust my camera piece. I apologize for all this. Until I can get a better system set up. This is what we're working with. I think we're good. Maybe I need to bring this up a little bit. Hang on a minute. I'm going to move this back and just use the head of the camera. Sorry, guys. This part is what takes a little bit of a challenge. I think we're good. All right. Let me know in the chats. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate it. Okay, I think that looks good. I think we're good. All right. So, as I've said before, now this will be the last month that we're using the host codes. I haven't put that information out yet, but I will do that in the next email that I put out. Stampin' Up! Is going away, getting rid of the host codes for groups and classes and combination of things. So what's going to happen starting, I think it's April 15th, that anytime you place an order of $50 or more, you're going to get a 10%, I believe it's a 10% credit back as host. You'll get host code or host money, if you will, and then that you can use on a future purchase. Those are good for a year. Now, if I put an order in for you on your behalf, I will get the hostess points, but I will in turn gift those to you. And if that happens, and those gifted points are only good for 90 days. And I'll put that in my email so you'll have all of that information written down. I'll probably do a separate email because it's a lot of information. So if you haven't signed up for my email newsletter list, please do so. I provide weekly information along with tutorials, how-tos, some tips, and all sorts of different things, as well as updates as far as Stampin' Up! And what's going on in the crafting world. So if you place a $35 order in my online store using my host code, or go in and you find me as your demonstrator, once I get notified of that, and as long as that order is done by the following Sunday of this class, then I will mail you free of charge the card kits for the cards that we're going to be making this evening. And then if you place a $50 order or more through my online store, you'll also receive a full pack of embellishments along with the other card kits that you would get anyways. So once I'm notified, that takes about a day or so for me to be notified by Stampin' Up! That you did order through me, then that's when I'll get your kits prepared and they'll go out in the mail. So make sure you sign up for my newsletter. There are certain things on there that they get that the average customer doesn't, so you don't want to miss out on that. So stay up to date that way as well. All right, now tonight we're going to be making one card using the Ocean Friends, and I'm also going to be using the Seaside Wishes. And I didn't bring the embossing folder in, but it has an embossing folder that also is one of those hybrids. So it also embosses and it cuts. So, and I've already done all of that, so you don't have to watch me do that. But I wanted to show you what we were going to be working with. And we're only going to be working with, thanks, I'm going to use the stamp set, thanks so much. And we will, this is a bundle that you can purchase. This is still available. And the Seaside Wishes is still available as well. And I will put out some information this next week. We have a new catalog that's going to be starting, that will come out in May. So if you're on my list to get a catalog, I will put another form out. So if you want a catalog and you're not working with the demonstrator, then please fill that out and let me know, and we'll get those into the mail once I receive them, and then I'll get them packaged up. Now, this is part of that Ocean Friends, Friends of the Ocean paper. Now, if you love the ocean, look at this paper. And I know I haven't worked with this in a while. We've made some cards with this, but we've got some sea starfish here, and then you've got these The crabs, there's dies in here that will cut out the lobsters and the larger crabs, okay? And then you've got there's 2 sheets of everything. This is the back of the lobster and crab. Now this one, you get 2 sheets of this one as well. These are just smaller, different types of fishes, seahorses and all of that. That's the back side of that one. So there's a duplicate. This one is a duplicate. And then this one we used before. This one's really, really pretty. And that's the back side of that one. And these are the duplicates. There's the one with the large lobsters. And we have this one. There's our starfish. And then this one is kind of like a 3-tone, and then it's pink on the bottom. So those are the papers. And you can find these in my online store. And I just dropped a piece of paper, so bear with me. I'm going to have to bend over and pick it up. Okay. And then another part of that suite are these embellishments. Now, you can buy the whole suite if you choose to do so. If not, you can get the stamp set by itself. You can get the bundle with the dies, and then you can also purchase these embellishments. So this is what we're going to be working with. Let me show you the card. This is such a cute card, and it really is pretty easy to make. So I'm going to lay it down. It stands up. So I'll put it like that. Can you see that? All right, so we're going to fold it. It does fit in a regular size envelope. So that's what it's going to look like when it's folded, but it stands up by itself. So there you go. That's how it's going to stand. Isn't that cute? So that's what we're going to be working with. I've already got everything pre-cut, so that will keep us from being here all night. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to walk you through the measurements, and let me make sure I got all the stuff I need. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the measurements. I'm going to lay this here. It probably isn't going to lay flat for you to see. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can put something on it to hold it down. Let's see. Let's put this block on there. We'll put it right there. How's that? It might be in my way. I'm going to move it over because I got the camera. That's going to be, we'll leave it right there. If it's on my way, I'll move it. Okay. So we're going to start with, let me pull out all of my pieces. And I know some of you are beach people, so you're going to love this. Oh, goodness, my envelope is sticking to the back of my cardstock. That's not good. We'll throw that on the floor. I'll pick it up later. All right, let me pull out all of the stuff that I've cut. So we have everything ready that we need to do to make this card. All right, so I've already pre-cut all of the, we've got our lobster. We have our coral, and then we've done a sand dollar. We're going to do some blending on that. And then we've got our piece of designer paper and another piece that's going to go here and here, as you can see. And then we've got 2 pieces of our basic, our cardstock. So the base of the card is 4 1/4 by 11, and I used our thick basic white. And this is going to be scored. You're going to score it at 1 1/4 inch, 2 1/2 inches, and then you're going to go all the way up and score it at 6 3/4. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fold. Now, let me get my bone folder because that would be helpful, wouldn't it? And my scissors. Okay, we got our glue. Let me get my bone folder out. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is fold on our score lines. And you're just going to do a mountain fold, and you'll be able to tell if you do it, fold it the wrong way, just refold it, and it'll be fine. And then I'm going to move this one up this way, and I'm going to go back and fold them in just a minute. And then we're going to fold this one back. Okay, so you see how it goes? Just like that. All right, so we're going to take this one and we're going to just burnish it really well. And we're going to burnish this one. Lighting is okay too. Oh, good. All right, so, oh, Kathy, thank you. I know. I never had children. I've always had dogs. I think Riley is, let me think, Sadie Mae. I had one that I rescued. She only lasted 2 months because I got her from a place in Virginia, and she had distemper back in the day. So she, anyways, so lucky. And then I had Diamond Sandy, and now Riley. So I've had 4. And the first one I had from the age of 16. Okay, so this is our thick basic white, but thank you, everyone. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so this is the base of our card, right? And then we're going to take another piece of basic white. Now I used just basic. I didn't use the thick. This is 2 1/2 by 10 1/2. And you're going to score it at 5 1/2. Excuse me. So that's going to make that pretty easy. All right. Now what we're going to do, and you all have probably done this before. This is going to get added to the front of our card right over this, but we're going to bring it up just a little bit because this piece here we're going to cover, and then that will cover up that seam. So we want to attach that to this part of the card. And then this piece we're going to attach to the back of the card. Okay. So this one, I think I'm going to attach the front first because I know where it needs to go. And then I can work with this one to get it to where it's going to be right at the edge. So let's actually, let's do it that way. Let's go ahead. I'm going to lay this down, and I'm only going to add adhesive to about half of this because I want it to be able to open up. So if I put adhesive all the way here, it's not going to open us what it's going to need to do for this front part. Okay. So I'm only going to put adhesive maybe 3/4 of the way up. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put it on the back side of the smaller piece. That way I know I'm not going to get glue all over the place. And I was fighting with this glue thing. Give me just a minute. Since I haven't stamped in a week or two, I guess 2 weeks, right? My glue didn't want to cooperate. So me and him were having conversations earlier. I was fighting with the thing. Here we go. And I did bring extra just in case. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the inside of this. All right. And I'm going to put a little bit thick. Hopefully it doesn't ooze out because we want this, since we're going to be moving it. So I'm going to lay that part down, right, butting it up, right, and try to get it centered. It doesn't have to be exact, but just, as long as you get it somewhat centered. So we're going to lay that there. And again, I only glued it to right about here. All right. So let me just let that sit for just a minute. And then we're going to fold this up. And this one, see, it's going to bend a little bit, which is fine. And then I'm going to bring that one down and have it stand. And it depends on how much you want your card to stand out, right? So I'm thinking, because this is going to fold up, that I'm going to put the glue just right here on this part, right? So I'm just going to do it right here. So I'm going to put it on the flap because I think it's going to be easier if I just stick it on this thing right here. And that way we know it's not going to get all over everything. I'm just going to do a small section. All right. And you can use your stamp and seal if that's easier. I like the liquid because it allows us to move it. And hopefully I don't have it too high up. If I do, we might be in a little trouble. Nope, I think I did good. I got a little bit, but that's all right. We'll fix that. No big deal. All right, so that's how that's going to go. So we're going to let that sit for just a minute. I am going to come in with my finger. Yeah, I just had one little bit, just a little bit oozed out, but that's all right. Once it dries, we'll be good. All right, so there's the base of our card. All right, and if this is a little crooked, which I think it's just a little bit, we'll just move it around. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's the base. All right, now we're going to take and we're going to cut a piece of whatever flavor you want. This piece is cut at 1 by 4 inches. And you could probably, I really could have made this a little bit wider or longer this way, but I think that's fine. So it's going to cover up that part of this that we put on the front of the card. So that's what's important. You want that to go on the front. So we're going to add that. And as you can see, it's really not that hard to make this card. The longest part of it is cutting out all the stuff, right? So I'm going to turn this sideways just so that I can see what I'm doing. And then I'll shift everything over and we'll get that on there. Oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, I'm a dork. I should have put my piece on here. I should put that on here first. Okay, so don't do what I'm doing. Make sure before you attach this piece, you put your piece on the inside, but that's okay. This is 4 by 4 inches. It's not a big deal because you've got room I can slide it in, and it doesn't go all the way down, but it's down far enough that you can't see. So don't do what Dawn does. And I tell you all this all the time, only if I do something good. Otherwise, don't do what I do. See, I was so excited to be back and talking to you guys. All right, so we're going to slide this in. Not a big deal, but it would be easier and cleaner to, and I can get it in without it sliding. So we'll just get it in here and we'll just make it work. So it's easier if you just put it in before you put the top over the fold over top. See, it works, but all right, there we go. Let's get that, make sure it's even. Let's see, move this down just a little bit. So we get some even. I think that's close enough. All right, there we go. That piece is in. So, all right, this piece I did not burnish, so I'm going to go ahead and burnish it now. That will help and adjust any fluctuations on that thing not laying flat. So you see, it's coming along pretty easy, right? All right. So the next thing we're going to do, and again, don't do what I'm doing. I should have stamped it first. So we're going to go ahead and knock that part out before I mess anything else up. We're going to use Summer Splash, and I'm going to do the thank you just like I did on the original card. So I'm going to put thanks so much. And let me put this over here out of the way. And again, I would have stamped this before I glued it down. So here we go. This might create the problem, but we'll see. We're going to get on here, and because it's folded over, I'm going to have to push really hard. So everything I'm doing, don't do. There we go. Not too bad. It looks a little smeared, but that's okay. It's homemade. All right. So as it stands, the two things not to do is glue your paper on this base first, the back piece. Stamp your sentiment on this before you fold it over and glue it down. Okay. So now with that being said, I think we're good to go. All right. So now we are going to, I'm trying to see what I did. Yeah, pop these up. All right. So I've done a sand dial. A sand dollar. I'm sorry, sand dial. I've done a sand dollar. I've cut out the lobster, and then we have our coral. Now, I did this coral is in Pretty Peacock. This one I did had extra piece, and this is Lost Lagoon. I think both are fine. I kind of like the peacock better, but that's okay. It'll work. All right, so now we're going to take our, I think I gave you all the measurements, if I'm not mistaken. I think I did. Yep, I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so that goes away. All right, we're going to take our crumb cake. I cut the sand dollar out using our basic beige cardstock, and the top part here. Now this looks like is the back because you can feel the edge. So I'm going to take our crumb cake, and I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to do a little bit of blending. I'm just going to bring in. I want to definitely do around the edges and make it a little bit darker around the edges. And this is our blending brushes that you can find in my online store. And then I'm going to do a little bit in the center. And, you know, we can, the more you rub it around, the more ink will come off. I don't want to get too much on the inside. I might just lighten this up just a little bit. I'm going to tap it over here on my pad and then see, because I don't want to get too dark, but I do want that to stand out. So we're just going to make it look like it's been kind of in the water and worn a little bit. So there we go. I think that looks fine. I'll come back just a little bit more around the edges. All right, so that looks pretty good. I told you it's really a pretty card. Okay, so we've got that. So let me move this out of the way. My workstation is not as big as I'm used to on my desk. We're making it, we're managing. Okay, so now I have dimensionals. Hold on. I have a pack. Hang on a minute. I brought a whole pack in here. Let me find them. Bear with me. Are they under here? Nope. Hang on a minute. Where are you? Dimensionals. I know they're here. I brought a whole pack, so I wouldn't be looking for them. And guess what? I'm looking for them. Oh, there they are. No, they're underneath my other stamp that set that we're going to do with. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put this, whoopsie. We're going to put this one on dimensionals. And let's get, let's see, I'm over here. Let me just move the camera just a tad so it's a little bit more centered. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. And I'm just going to put, I'll probably put, yeah, let's do 4. All right, so we're going to put 4. Probably could put one in the center, but I think we'll be fine. All right, so this one, we're going to pop it up. And then, get my trash can. There we go. Yep, got them all. All right, so this one, we're going to pop it up. And I am going to place it right, let me see how I did this one. Yeah, I came right up. Let me see. I'm looking at my thing. Yeah. All right. I'm going to lay it right here on the edge because I'm going to cover this up with the coral. So I'm going to place that right there. And we've got it popped up on dimensionals. Now our coral, keep in mind when you add your adhesive, now I'm going to bring it down right over this edge. So that way you don't see how it kind of, it covers this and then it covers that, right? So I'm going to place it right about there. So you want to be careful. Only put the glue maybe in the center part because you don't want to put it on the outside here because you don't want that to stick down. All right. So that's what we're going to try to do. So let's go ahead and just do some little dabs and get the glue coming out. I have my shell point class here. We're going to do the same thing. So I made this pretty easy. Hopefully, I don't have that many people signed up for it, but hopefully it won't be too hard for them to do. So I'm not going to come out on the side pieces because I know those are the ones that are going to be sticking out. So I'm just going to kind of do these right here. And I'm not going to glue them all the way because I like the way they look when they're kind of hanging out by themselves. So I'm just going to make sure I get enough down here to hold it on. But anyway, so my class is tomorrow. So I've got that all packed up and ready. So we will do that. Of course. All right, so let's see. All right, and then if we need more glue, you can always add more. You know, you can put some glue dots on there if you want to, however you want to get it so that your coral lays down. I kind of like it when it looks up, like see how you can tell it's looking up. It kind of gives you that 3D. So I'm just going to hold this down for just a minute. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the lobster up. And this lobster, if you saw on the paper, it also comes in the orangey color. So we're going to flip him over, and the dies cut that out as well. It cuts the bigger ones. It does not cut the small ones. So if you want the small lobsters, you're going to have to fussy cut those out. So I'm going to put one on each of his claws. And then we'll put some on his tail down here. Where else do we need? Let's do... Where did I do my little ones? Let's put a little, I don't think I need a big one on each side. I'm just going to put a mini just to give it a little bit of, so it doesn't fall right here on this. I guess these are little claws there as well. So let's set that up to the side. All right. And then we're going to take these, push your thumbnails down in the center. It makes it easier to take these off. And we'll put these in our trash can. If I can get them off. All right, so how's everything so far? So good, right? All right, let me get this off. This paper is thin, so you know, anytime you're working with designer paper, we got to be careful with that too. All right, so my lobster's ready to go. So we're going to place him on here, and I'm going to put that probably down again a little bit so it kind of covers that bottom up, or you can turn it this way, whichever way works for you. I tend to put everything to the right, maybe because I'm right-handed, I don't know. So I'm just going to place him right about there, and that's going to help hold down that coral as well. All right, so outside of this being a little crooked, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some embellishments. So I think since we've done pink here, we'll go ahead and add some pink. Maybe I'll add one green just to kind of pull it together. So let's do a small pink, and let's place, let's place one right there. Maybe I'll just do all pink. It could be pretty to put the blue. Let's do a large. Do we want a large? Yeah, let's do a large one. And these are the Sunny Day Iridescent. I'm gonna put this right there, and let's do another little one. We'll put a little baby right. What do we want to do with this one? Do we want it down here? No, let's go. Let's put it right about there. I'm not sure. You know how that goes. Now, my recommendation is if you mail this card, I would put a piece of either a piece of cardstock over top of this to keep these down. It should go through the mail with no problem. I do it all the time, but if you don't cover this up, they are going to kind of poke out, and so that they may want to run it, not running it through the machine. They may have to manually do it, and then that might cost you more money. But if you put a piece of cardstock over top of it, I think you'll be fine. So there's the card. Isn't that cute? And then here's the one that we did. We have the orange, and then we have the pinky lobster. But isn't that a cute card? It really is easy to make. And then it can stand up. So you can make this as a birthday card, anniversary card without, obviously without this. But you can use the same format for whatever, and then it can stand up on somebody's desk. So there you go. There's our cute little lobster card. All right, so there's that one. I'm going to set him off to the side for just a moment. There's my small block. I was wondering what happened to him. Okay, now we're going to do an Easter card. Now this format, this is something that you can use, and it doesn't have to be for Easter, but I did this one for Easter. Let me get my instructions, and then I'm going to show you the paper because I want you all to realize that um, Stampin' Up! Has we bought out Close to My Heart, which is a scrapbooking company, and we have now implemented a lot of scrapbooking kits. So my recommendation to you, because they are online, we do have a catalog, but it's an online catalog. So my recommendation, two things, ways that you can find. I was browsing through the memory keeping slash scrapbooking section, and I came across this birthday kit, which is absolutely stunning. Now, this is a workshop that they are now putting out, and the reason I'm going to tell you why I'm showing you this for a reason. This scrapbooking kit is called Wildflower Birthdays. It's beautiful. It's got, I don't know, they give you the 2-page layouts for 3 different projects, but you get all of the paper, the cardstock, everything that you need to make scrapbook pages, or I'm using them to make cards. Okay, so let me just show you real quick. And I want to say, and don't hold me to this, but I think this was maybe $54, but don't hold me to that. Look at all of the instructions. Now, again, this is if you're doing the layout for the scrapbooking, okay? But look at all this beautiful paper. So you've got this, and you look at all the birthday paper, and there's 2 sides. So you can see some of this I'm using, all right? There's all the paper that, now this is their one-sided paper. So you got 2 sheets of that, 2 sheets of that, 2 sheets of that, 2 sheets of the orange, and then you get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 big 12 by 12, and these are all 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock. So keep in mind, even though it says it's for scrapbooking, just think about all of the material you're getting that you can use for card making. Now, granted, it doesn't come with stamps or anything, but this is the paper that I'm using, this piece and this piece, to create this card. But I initially bought this to make cards out of it too. Okay. All right. So this is the card. Now this card will fold up and go into an envelope. So I just want you to make sure you're aware of that. It will fold it down just like that. Now, if you don't want it to be like a cross, don't put the crossbar on it. So leave this part off if you don't want that, and then just add a circle or a square or rectangle, whatever you want for your sentiment. And then on the back is where you can write your message. And then this will go into a regular size envelope. See, just like that. Isn't that cute? So this is a folding crisscross card, I guess. I'm not sure what the name of it is. But isn't that cute? I thought that was really pretty. The stamp set that I'm using is a retired stamp set. It's called Rejoice in Him. It is an Easter set. So I kept this just because of the community I live in, and I figured people are going to want to make Easter cards, and it will have some anyways, it'll be available for when I make cards if that's the stamps that they want to use. So, all right, so we're going to get started. I'll give you the measurements for this as well. And again, this one's pretty simple. It looks a little bit more difficult, but it's not. Okay. Again, you're going to do some cutting, and I'm going to give you all of those pieces. All right, so we're going to start out with a 5. All right, let's start out with this one. This is going to be the base. This is Blueberry Bushel, and I'm using Blueberry Bushel ink, and that's the color in the designer paper that I chose. And then I chose the green because I thought it went better with that light check. Okay, and I'll give you the measurements for all of this in just a second. All right, so Blueberry Bushel. This is your base card. This is 3.5 by 5.5. Okay, 3.5 by 5.5. I'm going to set that off to the side for just a minute. I'll put that. I'm just going to put it off here, off to the side. Then we're going to start with a 5 by 5.25 piece of, now this is seafoam, 5 by 5.25. And what you want to do, and I've already scored this, but on the 5-inch side, so the 5-inch side is going to be at the top of the trimmer or the paper cutter / scoring tool, whatever you're going to use. You want to score. So five inches is going to be at the top, 5 1/4 will be on the side. So on the 5-inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch. Then we're going to go over to 1 7/8 inch, and we're going to move over to 3 1/8 inch, and then 4 inches. Okay, so it's 1 inch, 1 7/8, 3 1/8, and 4 inches. Okay, and then we're going to fold it. So what we're going to do, as you can see, this one we want to fold down. So that's going to be a mountain, right? So we're going to fold this one down, and then we're going to fold this one back up. And then I'm just flipping it over, and I'm going to fold this one down, and I'll come back and burnish. And then I'm going to fold this one back up. So we're going to come in and burnish it. And then what you can see, I did it backwards. This one will come up. That's what I did yesterday. I did the same thing. So, but you got to flip them either way, because you want to get them so that they're going to fold on the way that you need them to fold. Okay. So then once I go through and crease them, that's how it's going to lay on our cardstock. All right. So that's how you want to fold it. So now I'm going to come in with my bone folder, and I'm going to make sure I give it a good crease, because this is actually going on top of the base of our card. And that's why we scored it the way that we did. So we're going to come back this way, and we're just going to reinforce the edges. All right, so we're going to fold this one down, and then I'm going to come underneath and do that one, and I'll come under this one and do this one again as well. Fold that, open that one up, and just give it a good burnish. Okay. All right. So that's how our folding box is going to work. This goes there, that goes there. All right. So that's how it's going to go, just like that. All right. Then we'll put everything together in just a minute. All right. Then we're going to make two 7 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/8. So we want 7/8 by 5 1/8, and we want to do 2 sets. So we want, we want 2 of these. This is not the right size. So hold on. All right. So we want 7/8 by 5 1/8, and we want to make 2 of those, because those are going to go right on top of that. Okay. And then for this centerpiece here, this one is 1 1/8 by 5 1/8. So that's going to go right there. Okay. And then we want to do the crossbar, and we're going to do a piece of the blueberry bushel is 1 1/4 this way by 3 1/8. And then our designer paper will be 1 1/8 by 3. Okay. So 1 1/8 by 3. And then 1 1/4 by 3 1/8. And that's what we're going to use for the crossbar. And then I have a circle that I cut out using one of you can use whatever die set you have. It could be a circle, it could be, punch it, whatever works. Okay. So now we just have to put everything together. So we're going to go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do is add our paper on here. Actually, yeah, let's go ahead and add that on here. And then that way, then we can lay it down and go ahead and glue it down to our base card. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. And this is a cute pink on the back. Isn't that cute paper? So I thought this paper is going to make some really nice birthday cards. It's, you can make spring cards, birthday cards, anniversary. It's really beautiful paper. All right, so we're going to put that one there. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this one. See, the card looks like it's much harder to make than it really is. So if you guys make this or the other card, make sure that you share that on my blog, if you don't mind, or share it in on the Facebook page at Shall We Stamp, or you can share it. You can post a picture, I think, right here on YouTube if you want to do that as well. Okay, so there's our centerpiece. All right, now this one we're going to put in. I'm going to flip this around because I want my pink flowers, I think, at the top. Or does that look like they're backwards? Let's see. Does it really matter? I don't think it's going to matter, does it? Let me see. No, I think it does, because these look like they're going in the right direction. So this one we're going to place right here in the center. But this right here, this is a bubble bath. I think that would be cute for like a girl's card, baby, something like that even. the little curly cues. And we're going to add this one right in the center of this piece. And then we should have a small, small gap, if you will, on each side, as well as the top and the bottom. So one thing with, again, with the liquid glue is it allows us to maneuver this paper. All right, I think that looks good right there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach it to our card base. So I'm going to turn it sideways, and you just want a small amount of the blueberry bushel showing, and you want to make sure you get it lined up. So it's cut to where maybe 1/8 of an inch is going to show, if that. All right, so we're only going to put it on this edge right here. So we want to make sure we don't get it any further than what we need. And again, I'm going to put a little bit extra on there just so. And then we're going to lay it down. And I'm just going to lay it down, and then I'm going to shift it as I need to. So bear with me a minute. Get that up there. And I'm not a real, if you've watched me for any length of time, you'll notice I'm not a perfectionist. So if it's not exact, I don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. Because you know what? They're going to be so pleased to get this card, they're not going to know what to think, right? That's how it works. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And move this up and pull him in. This is where sometimes you might want to have like 2 hands, but that's okay. So we're going to push it down, and we're going to bend this one over, and then just slide it on here and layer it, because we've got that tombow. So that's going to allow us to move our paper. Give me a minute. Let me just pull it up. And then I'm going to shift it just to get a little bit more showing. All right. And then we're good. And then there is our start of the box. And then you can fold it over to make sure that it's going to fold flat. So you want to make sure you get all of that burnished correctly. Okay. So we're going to fold that down and make sure it's burnished. All right. And then there we go. Okay. So that's that. See how easy it is? It comes together pretty quickly. All right. And then, oh, you know what I forgot? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I forgot my green ink. Oh, Lordy. Okay. This piece is going to go on here. So this is going to be the bar. So I'm going to add that to here. Now, I forgot to bring my Seaside ink. I'm not going to get up and go get it, but I'll stamp everything else, and then I'll show you what we're going to do, but then you'll see how it needs to be done. All right. So again, the same thing. We want to get this on here. Again, everything's just leaving a small amount of the cardstock showing. All right, so that's going to go there. And then we've got this on there. So again, we want to make sure that this is going to fold all the way down so it can get mailed. All right, there we go. All right, and then this we're going to put on here. So I'm just going to gauge where I want it, and I'm just going to put adhesive. I just eyeball it. So I'm just going to put adhesive right, probably in this little area right here. I'm not going to go real far. That should cover it. Okay. And then we're going to lay that down. Do I have this going in the right direction? What do y'all think? Yeah, I think it's better this way. All right. So I'm going to lay this right about here. And I'm going to place that on there. I'll let that sit for just a minute. Whoopsie. Let me look at it, make sure that's straight. And then again, you can look at it and adjust it if you need to. I think that's fine. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our sentiment. Now, this leaf here, and you can use whatever leaves you have, is what I stamped, which I don't have the ink, so I'm not going to get up and go get it. But you can see on the one that I did here, I stamped a little light leaf behind "He is risen." So I will do that afterwards. I can just probably be able to. I can fold it flat and get it on there. All right. So now we're going to stamp the sentiment in blueberry bushel. Isn't this an easy card? Thanks, Kathy. Thank you, Karen. All right, so we're going to stamp this. I'm just going to put this a little bit towards the top because I may come back when I get back to my table, and I can go back and stamp over top of that with the seafoam ink. I think it will be fine. And now after I put it on here, it won't be fine, but that's all right. We're gonna go with what it is. All right, so we're gonna add this here. We're gonna put this on some dimensionals, and then we're gonna add this bird. I stamped and I just fussy cut out this little bird here. So we are going to add this, and it really needs to have that leaf stamped in the background because it does make a big difference. And I don't have, I'm wondering, no, it's not gonna look right. I was thinking I could use my summer splash, but I don't think that's going to look right. So we're not going to do that. We're going to leave that away. I'm going to put the dove right here off to the side. In the event that I am able to get a little bit of a leaf print on there, then that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to put him up. I'm going to move him up just a little bit so it looks like he's flying. There we go. All right, so we're going to place him right there. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to the back. Actually, I'm going to place them on this. So I know where my, I'm going to put it right in the center. I'm just going to put 2. That way I know it's going to go on my back of my circle. My nose is itching. Back on my circle. And, whoops, where's my trash can? Lost my trash can. All right, so then we're going to take that and we're going to place that. Bear with me. I'm going to look at it, make sure, and I'm going to lay it right about like that. And there you go. And then last but not least, we're going to add, and I've got a little strip of the same paper color to cover this. I always cut them a little bit longer and then I can trim them off. And then this piece, I cut this a little bit. This one's cut at 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. It could be 3 inches by 5, just to give you a little bit of a border. Excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. Now see, the back side of the paper is party paper. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? All right, so we're going to put that on here just to decorate the back of our card where we can make our message. And then it kind of pulls everything through. And I'm just going to slide that on there. And I've got a little bit over. So I'm just going to come in and trim that off. All right. And then we're just going to add, whoops, push that back down. Make sure it dries. Okay. And then we will go ahead and add our adhesive. And then this is going to go on the back of the card so that we can write our message. And that's going to go just like that. All right. So there you go. I got a little bit oozing out here. So let me wipe that off with my fingers. I'll get the glue eraser to take that off. All right. So there you go. There is our card. It lays flat, goes right into the envelope. Isn't that cute? All right, so those are our cards for this evening. Let me bring the other one in. So we have our lobster of the Ocean Friends, and then we have this one using the Wildflower Birthday Scrapbooking Kit. So there you all go. Let me pull this down so you can see it. Isn't that cute? Don't you just love these cards? And they're really easy to use. So. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I know spring's coming. We need to start showing off all these springy colors, right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. I greatly appreciate you taking time out of your Tuesday night schedule to, wow, we're actually 10 minutes early, to watch me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all your comments regarding my my little, I called her my baby girl, Riley. I do appreciate that. Have a great rest of the week, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing, I've been kind of out of it, so I can't remember if I'm supposed to be doing a Fundamental Friday this week or not, but if I do, I'll post it tomorrow. I'll make sure to let you all know. Otherwise, I will be back next Tuesday, and we will be on Facebook. I think I might be able to stream to both. I'm going to practice with that and see. So thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to watch these cards. I hope you've enjoyed them. And if I can help you with anything, please reach out and let me know. If you're not working with a demonstrator, I would love to have you work with me. And you can reach me at shallwestamp.com. And all of my social media are under Shall We Stamp. So thanks again, everyone. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.